it's Tisha, and it is another Tisha Talks Live at 4:45, and I'm so happy that you are tuning in. If you are watching this on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, please make sure to drop some comments for me or just give me a simple hello that you are tuning in. I always go back and watch the replay, and if you are watching the replay, make sure to comment because this is going to be a fun topic. I'm really excited about this. You might have seen I just posted something on LinkedIn that I'm actually a little fearful of this. And today we're talking about, is fear taken over? Is fear taking over? How to conquer those fears, how to check your mindset and keep moving. And I want to be completely 100% honest with you that I have fear. I have fear. Maybe you have fear. I think a lot of us have fear, but I started doing these live streams back on September 1st, and I can't tell you when that countdown in StreamYard starts counting down to the time where I'm supposed to hit go live, there's a little bit of fear. There's a little bit of anxiety. Is my technology going to work? Am I going to be a total blubbering, whatever on this live stream? Or am I actually going to make an impact and help someone out today? So fear comes at us in a couple of different ways. And today we're going to talk about how to check those fears, how to get over those fears. And I, being a big storyteller, want to share a story with you. So I get a lot of compliments, great compliments of Tisha, you're well-spoken, you do really well, you're a great public speaker, professional speaker, but that wasn't always the case. I give this talk, it's actually one of the keynotes that I share on embracing failure. And in my talk, I share that the very first speech that I gave, I was a nervous wreck. And yes, it was back a long time ago when I was young, like when I was in junior high. But I'm going to talk about this story. Hey, Joseph, good to see you. Yes, one of my favorite people talking about a very powerful topic. We are all living in fear, all of us. I mean, like I said, I'm being completely honest. Some of you are like, she's so dang confident. And I'm like, let me tell you something. Fear creeps in too. I always have that fear. And I want to talk to you about some different tips and techniques and tricks that I use to get over it. But back to the story. So I'm going to take you back. This is like early 90s. I'm in 8th grade, and I am preparing to give this speech. I've never really done anything in front of other people, in front of getting in front of the class and so forth. And I practiced so much. I get up there, I'm in front of the class, and I completely blew it. I couldn't even remember a dang thing that I was supposed to say. I couldn't even remember my name. I had practiced so much, but I think fear crept in, and a lot of us have that fear of public speaking. Absolutely, we have that fear of getting up in front of a crowd and just freaking out, and then just, anxiety takes over and we just can't get through it. So I would call that one of my epic fails. I was learning, of course, at how to do this whole public speaking thing. I get up in the classroom and I completely couldn't even remember a damn thing. I walked back to my desk and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. And I immediately went into this, I can't ever get back up there. And that's what fear wants, right? Fear wants to keep us stuck in that place. It wants to tell us, you're not good enough. You're not going to get back up. You're not going to do this. But this is the thing about fear, is we have that control of being able to take back control of our lives and saying, you know what, fear, take a step back, sit down, shut up. I'm going to do this. And I started to work my way back up, knowing that I needed to practice speaking. I needed to get back up there. I needed to do more and more of this so I could get more comfortable with speaking. And so I love sharing this story. The girl who just, didn't have a whole lot of confidence, didn't have a whole lot of self-esteem, I enrolled myself in the drama club. So I was part of the drama club for years because what was it helping me to do? It was helping me to build confidence. It was helping me to memorize lines. It was helping me to get back in the game. And some of you have followed my journey. I am professional speaking now. So the girl that totally bombed that first speech because of fear, because of self-doubt, because of this, this mindset that I was having that I couldn't do it, I wasn't good enough, is now professional speaking. So yeah, fear wants to keep us down. One of my favorite quotes that I use all the time, I especially use it in my Embracing Failure talk and how to rise from the fall, is this whole notion of, I'm not afraid of failing. I'm not afraid of failing, but I am afraid of just being stuck in the same damn place next year. I threw that damn in there because you got to if you're a badass, right? So I'm afraid of being stuck in the exact same place. And that's exactly what I'm talking about is fear wants us to stay stuck. It does. I'm going to look at some of these comments. This coming from LinkedIn user, false evidence appearing real. Yes, that is a great acronym for what fear is. Thank you for sharing that. Joseph Rosales saying, fear or faith, it is a choice we all make. Remember, fear and faith cannot exist at the same time. One dominates the other. Yes, put it in your faith, put your trust in your faith and let that guide you to get out of that fear mode, to get out of that stuck mode. This one, perseverance over fear. Absolutely. You have to take the necessary steps if you are going to get out of your fear. You have to. It's imperative that you do, because as we were just talking about, fear wants to keep us stuck. So what are those ways that we can conquer fear? And I was doing some research on this, especially, I was like, I love this. Totally am using these same tactics, but we want to tackle fear head on. Again, we can't let it just keep us in this stuck space. We want to focus on what is that end result. So once we do that one thing that we were so freaked out and afraid of, what is that feeling going to be once we get past that? So I want to share another little story with you. If you're in the Phoenix area or, maybe even where you live, we have a lot of trampoline parks here in Arizona. We have tons and tons of them. There's one called Gravity that's out in Chandler. And if any of you are in the Phoenix area and are watching this and have been to Gravity, there is one obstacle where you are like wearing like a jumpsuit and almost looks like a straight jacket. And you are being lifted on this whole like wooden slide, like uphill slide, I should call it. And you drop from the top. And I remember going with my family and I kept like inching my way back behind the kids. And I was like, no, you go. I don't think I'm going to go. You just go. You just keep going in front of me. And I remember by the end of our trip there with my family, I hadn't gone on it. I let fear take so much control over me that I never went on it, and I missed my opportunity. I missed the opportunity. Here, my kids are going on it. My husband's going on it. They're having a great time. And I freaked out so much that I was like, no. And I'm a grown woman. And I couldn't get on this dang thing to save my life because I was so set in this fear. And I remember months and months and months later, we went back to the same place. And I was like, damn it, I am getting on this thing. From hell or high water. Fear, you don't have control over me. I am doing this. And I put that jumpsuit on. And I remember my husband going, okay, you'll probably make it to 6 and then you'll drop. So you're being pulled up. You're like being pulled up to the highest level you possibly can, which is 10, until you finally decide you want to drop. And I remember just inching my way up and going, okay, we've gotten to 6. Okay, we've gotten to 7. Okay, we've gotten to 8. And my husband's like, are you going to drop? And I end up going all the way to 10 and I end up dropping. And it was so exhilarating. It was such an amazing feeling to say, fear, you didn't get me today. You lost today. And I did this. I know you might have won in the past, but today I did this. So I'm going to look at some of these quotes we've got. Dan, so good to see you. Dan with the Y Institute. Thanks for being on today. But he showed this quote on fear. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to. Dan, that is amazing. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I think that's a quote that's going on my wall. Yes, we are meant to show up, right? We are all children of God. We're there to show up. We are here to do this. We can't let fear get in our way of being able to do that. So I'm going to hide that real quick. Yes, Joseph saying, Dan, love the comment. I love the comment too. So this is the thing too. Let's focus on the things that we can control. I'm just looking at some of these tips that I was reviewing today, and I was like, okay, focus on the things that we can control. I know in our neighborhood, there's all these fun little signs that talk about be kind, show yourself some grace, be kind. The one thing saying, I will not stress over things that I cannot control. I know right now we are living in a whole damn world of uncertainty. Like we are. That's what we're living in right now. And one of these tips that I saw that really resonated with me is start living in a world of wonder. Start living in a world of wonder. And what are those possibilities? So as I was sharing earlier, I'm professional speaking. I'm doing live events. COVID hit and it just totally, it just fell out the bottom for me. And I'm like, I have to pick myself back up. I've got to adapt. I've got to move. I've got to do something differently. And all of us are there. It's not one of us that's there. All of us are in that same boat. So you've got to look at the world with just wonder and saying, okay, you know what? Bring it. Let's go. Let's do this. And be willing to adapt and proactively respond to what the circumstances are. All right. So the other thing I wanted to share that I found that I just love this. So instead of saying there's a negative connotation when someone says, so what are you going to do? And you say, I don't know. I don't know. Just listen to how that sounds. I don't know. Instead, I liked what this person wrote on this blog, The Art of Living. It says, why don't you change it to, I don't know? Like, I don't know. That immediately goes to, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen, but I am so excited to find out when I do. So you can change the context of the story from being negative and saying, yeah, this isn't going to work. I can't do this. I won't do this. I'm a little afraid of doing this, to this whole, I don't know what that is, but I'm really, really intrigued. I'm really ready to find out what that is. So Karen, thank you so much for tuning in. She's saying, awesome. Yes, awesome. I love talking about this topic. And as I shared, even just before going on, I'm a little freaked out. Fear gets the best of me sometimes too, but we can't let it keep us down. We've got to keep moving forward. We've got to focus on the things that, focus on other things that you're not afraid of. All right. So the other thing I want to share is something that I'm getting really excited about. And yeah, there's always a little fear in that too, but I'm getting ready to venture into something new. I love talking about personal branding. I've been asked to do several talks. In fact, Joseph Rosales, who's on, has asked me to do a talk on personal branding. I think I have like four speaking gigs just on personal branding within the next few weeks, that I decided as part of COVID that I wanted to start teaching people how to build their personal brand, how to do it, not just give them the blueprint, but actually walk them through and implement. Because here's the part that I feel that most people become afraid at. They're not afraid of taking in the information. I think a lot of us can sit there and go through courses and classes and just consume information, but where does the fear actually lie? The fear actually lies when you're forced to take action and you need to implement it. And that's the part that I actually really enjoy working with people is let's not just take what we've consumed and what we're learning, but let's now actually implement it and move you forward. So the one thing that I've been working on just tirelessly is creating this whole personal brand builder challenge for people who know they need a personal brand, know that their brand is non-existent, don't know what to say, don't know what to put out there, don't know what their presence should be, so that they have the strategies moving forward. So this personal brand, you'll be hearing talk a lot about this, is coming up on October 12th. And it's going to be a free challenge for people who are interested in learning how to build their personal brand, want to do it themselves, or even need a little bit of support and helping hand in that regard too. So for people that are tuning in, what about you? Like, what are some fears that are coming up for you? Are you having some fears that you're like, I really need some help with this? This is a really good opportunity to, jump in the hot seat with me on this live stream. And, or just even in the replay, if you're like, you know what, or even DM me and let me know, Tisha, I've been having this fear around XYZ and how can I overcome that? Because I bet you what you'll find, it's a lot of those same steps that I was sharing. It's about tackling your fear head on, expressing gratitude for the things that you've got, looking at what you can control, and, thinking about how you will feel once you get past that fear and on your way. As I shared in that story, my personal, my professional or my even public speaking journey, I failed miserably the first time I got up in front of a crowd. Absolutely did. Like epic. And I could have let that keep me stuck, but instead I chose to take a step and take another step and take another step and another step and another step. And I kept getting better and better and better. And it's not, practice makes perfect. It's practice makes progress, right? You keep moving forward and you keep honing your skills and you keep doing it over and over. And that fear starts to dissipate because you've got this. You've got this. So, all right, I think we're going to wrap this up. If anyone has any questions or if you want to talk about fear, you know where you can find me. You can always find me on LinkedIn. You can just check in with me on my profile or send me a DM. Joseph, yes, so looking forward to having you share on the program, Business in the New Normal. Yes, I will be talking about that with Joseph next week. So definitely check in with Joseph if you'd like to tune into that as well. But I'm excited to get this new journey started for my business and my life. And yeah, if you are having trouble with fear, I would love to hear from you. So put in the chat, in the replay, some comments on how you overcome fear. What are some of those tips and tricks that you can share? Because I'm always about learning and implementing those in my life as well. So, all right, that's it for me. Thanks everybody for tuning in to Tisha Talks Live at 4:45. I will be back next Tuesday with another show, same time, same place. Always a pleasure. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you back. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Bye, guys.